I am starting the spin of the beautiful, luscious camel fiber, and I thought I would share a little bit of what I found in case you decide to spin with camel fiber as well. So this is camel down, and it is super, super soft, but it also has a very, very short staple length. The staple length is probably about two to 3 inches, I think. Yeah, it's about 3 inches. So because it is such a short staple length, I'm spinning it so very, very thin, I am using the eWheel 6, the e-spinner, so that I get a nice consistent and tight spin. I'm putting it on about half power, a little less than half of the power. I think the eWheel 6 goes to 6, and it's just before the 3. And that seems to be working well for me. I said in my last video that I'm spinning a 2-ply lace weight. That was wrong. I'm spinning it the singles lace weight, but the actual yarn I'm trying to achieve is a fingering weight yarn. I did find it a little challenging to use the original pieces of yarn that are of fiber that I had prepped, because it is thick and I'm trying to go very thin. I'm finding that I'm going across this top several times in order to achieve the thickness that I want. And because it's so fine and so soft, it's just a challenge to get back and forth. So what I'm actually doing, and this is, the original top was split into 3 sections. So I'm then splitting those again, just before I spin. I'm finding about the middle of the fiber, and I'm splitting those down again. So this is about 1/6 of the width of the original top that I got. And I'm finding that that is working very well for me. I'm able to get a good consistent draw on that without having to go kind of back and forth on the top. And so I think that's going to work out really well for me. I will show you a bit of the single here so you can see. So this is the consistency of my single. It's coming out at about 21 to 22 wraps per inch. And then I'll show you what it looks like together. So when it's plied, that's not plied very well. There we go. So it looks like it's going to be a nice between 14 and 16 wraps per inch. Which is fingering weight, which is what I'm going for the Lemmy cowl. So I think it's going to be a super squishy, soft, amazing cowl. I can't wait to get it finished. And I'll show you the results when I'm done. Good morning. It is July 15th, so day 15 of the Tour de Fleece, Tour de France. And I haven't gotten a ton of volume of spinning done, like final product spinning done, but I have done a lot of spinning, actually, like physically done a lot. The camel fiber is so very thin, and I'm spinning it so very fine. I did manage to get one bobbin done. The other one is probably about halfway there. This is the rest of the fiber that I have to go. But I'll show you how fine it's coming out. It's such a lovely fiber to spin, honestly. I'm having such a good time with it. it is coming out, the single is coming out at about 30 wraps per inch, I think. It looks like it's a little too big for the 28. I mean, a little too small for the 28, a little too big for the 32. So I'm thinking it's about 30 as a single. As a double, it's coming out at roughly 18. But I'm expecting that to bloom a little bit. So I think it is going to end up being a very light fingering, which the Lemme cowl that it calls for is a fingering weight. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the needles that are recommended in the pattern, and with this lighter fabric, yarn, it'll be a lighter fabric. I'm a little concerned about the beads being too heavy for it, so I may need to go to a smaller bead. Not sure, but we'll see. So this I am actually going to do a gauge swatch, not for gauge, but to see how the drape is and how the beads hold up to that drape. So other than that, that's pretty much all I've been spinning. Julie came over last night and we had a late recording session. It was lovely to see her again and to get together and talk all the fibery things. So I'm gonna finish editing up that video and hopefully get that out to you guys very shortly. Tomorrow is a challenge day, so I'm actually challenging myself today to finish that camel so that I can get it plied. And then I only have one other yarn to ply, which is the other Hogwarts House inspired yarn. So that's hopefully what I'll be able to do tomorrow. I completely forgot about rest days. I did not rest after the last challenge day, but oh well. So I'll probably do the same, to be honest with you. Although I am very close to finishing a knit project, the Derecho shirt. It's like a summer top. So that might be my rest day project. Who knows what I'll do? I go where the wind blows. So I also had a pattern fall in my lap that's going to be great for the Harry Potter inspired yarns, the Hogwarts House inspired yarns. Andrea Mowry released her Rhinebeck sweater pattern, and it is called the tessellated vest. I have been wanting to do a vest for a while, but just haven't found the right project for it. Just haven't found the vest that like says, here, make me. And so when she released this vest as the Rhinebeck sweater, and you could make it a sweater. She has instructions on how to make the sleeves so you can make it a sweater. But I really want to make the vest. When it came out, it was kismet, and it needs the color changing yarns. So I went deep stash diving, and I do have a few color changing yarns from Stonehenge Fiber Mills, Crazy, but none of them really were cohesive enough to get the yardage that I needed for the vest. So I decided to consider using some hand spun for it. And at first I've had this like a mustard yellow yarn that I was going to use for the main color, and then try to, again, to go find another off color. At one point I had the washed white from Briggs & Little paired with a mohair and an indigo dyed yarn that I got on the yarn cruise last year. And it looked beautiful. It was such a nice, but it wasn't the color changing yarn. And I like to try to keep as true to the designer. I know that you can do your own thing and go your own way and all that, but designers take so much time to create their patterns, and the first time I make it, I like to kind of keep to the sort of the vibe that they're going for in their pattern. So I gave it some more thought, and I finally came up with using the Hogwarts inspired yarns. And so I'm going to use the washed white Briggs & Little as the main color. So it'll be a plain, like an off-white main color, and then a black mohair as the floofy bit. And then I'll be doing, I'll have to really do some math and thinking about how I'm going to break this up over the sweater. But I think because it is sort of that slip stitch or that mosaic knitting, the houses will blend well. The lion house will be on the top, the badger house will be underneath, and then the Slytherin house, and then under that will be the Raven house. So you kind of have the yellow tie into this, the black tie into this, and the gray tie into this. That's the thought anyway. We'll see how it turns out. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be cute and different and quirky and me. So that is all I have for today. Hopefully I'll have more after we do our plying on Sunday. So I hope you enjoy the video. I haven't been able to capture a whole lot. It's been extremely hot. Oh my gosh, it's been so hot. But today we had a thunderstorm roll through at about 5 o'clock this morning. It's quite damp actually out here today. But I was just so anxious to get out in the world again, out in nature again, that I decided to come back out here for a quick record. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you are having a fun time with Tour de Fleece, and I will see you next time. Bye. This is only a test. If this were a real emergency, we would have yarn fumes. Hello, it is day 17 of the Tour de France and Tour de Fleece, and I have not been able to record much commentary video. It has been just so crazy. I did get a little bit of spinning done in the craziness, but I also got a lot of plying done. Yesterday was a challenge day, and I use my challenge days as plying days to just ply all the things. Where I am this year anyway. I'm thinking of doing something a little different next year. We'll see. So I did get the Raven house inspired yarn completed, and it turned out so good. I am so excited. It is going to be a great addition to the set that I'm going to use for the tessellated vest. And that will be my Rhinebeck sweater, hopefully. And then I also got the camel fiber completed. So this is the camel fiber. It is so soft. It's drapey like crazy. It is so squishy, so amazing. It spun like a dream. It is very thin. I am thinking it might actually be a little too thin for the Lemmy cowl. I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a try. Now that I've got a good number of skeins of yarn completed, I am going to put them in a wash. It is supposed to be very warm this week, in the 80s, high 70s, mid 80s. So it seems like it's going to be a good week to wash all the things. Today is a rest day on the Tour de France, so it is a rest day for Tour de Fleece. However, I usually don't rest on rest days. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wash the yarns and get those started to dry. It's quite a humid day today, but hoping that as the sun burns off some of the humidity, we'll be able to get some yarns started to dry and then complete those over the next couple of days. So the plan for the next week of Tour de Fleece is to, gosh, we don't have much time left, do we? No, we don't. We have 1 week left. So I think what I'm going to do with my last week of the men's Tour de Fleece is the men's Tour de France, I'm going to try to complete as much Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club boxes as possible. And then for the Tour de France de Femme, the women's Tour de France, I'm going to spin the braids that I got from Casey at Port Fiber. I'm thinking that if I can get those braids spun at the right weight, I might be able to use those as the main color for my tessellated vest. I'm not sure. They're super soft, super fuzzy, amazing yarn, fiber. So I think they would make a great fiber for like the main color. They are a natural wool, a natural fiber. So I think they would just be really, really cool. We'll see. We'll see what we can accomplish. But that's the plan. So Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club box, Port Fiber, and I think I'm going to hold off on the autumn braid, the kind of the burgundy and brown colored braid, for another time. So that's the plan. I'm not getting as much done as I hoped I would, but I'm getting some stuff done. I'm spinning every day, and I'm not murdering myself doing it. So that's a good thing. I'm having fun, and that's the best thing. So I hope wherever you are having fun. I hope you are enjoying the Tour de Fleece, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Here is a bit of a sneak peek at the July Fiber of the Month Club box. We'll be sending a unboxing video shortly.